Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wildcat Week episode 11.
To the Thanksgiving special.
Thanksgiving special, some might say. Yeah.
Some might say.
Ooh, should I try to... Well, never mind. I'm not going to try to push it and get it out by Thursday.
Whatever.
I want to enjoy my Thanksgiving break, even though, guess what?
What?
I'm coming back early because I'm doing play-by-play for
Heck
you guys'
yeah.
game on Saturday,
Boom.
baby.
You know what? On top of that, you know what we're going to do right now? Roll the intro.
On the carry. Shoemaker through the hole. Shoemaker to the end zone. Wildcats are pouring it on.
Hastings across to the middle. Goal! Goal! That's the game! Wildcats win it!
You're listening to Wildcat Week, presented by Amplify Media.
Donovan, I think that intro gets better every single time I watch
Oh,
it.
and you can't say that.
It is. It does. It's a good
But
one.
it's the exact same one.
I know, but I think it gets better
Okay,
every time.
listen. I said I was going to do it this entire summer. I guess I procrastinated for 4 months.
Yeah.
I promise I will make a new intro over Christmas break.
It's like a soccer highlight, and then I'm pretty sure it's like
It's Pink
Devadnik
Shoemaker.
or Shu, yeah, who's
Shu
not even on
running
the,
it in.
Shu
He's
not on the team.
anymore.
Pretty sure it's a soccer player's not on the
And
team
then,
anymore.
yeah, yep. That's why I just need
Yeah, dude. And you got all the clips, so like I don't.
maybe.
So
Maybe.
you got it.
I may have to like ask around like Silas and like get highlights stuff, but
yeah.
either way,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a pretty heavy rundown today.
very short
A lot of sports teams had kind of their opening NAIA rounds or
Yeah.
like national championships going on. So I'll give it over to Owen. That's going to give you a rundown of all the women's sports that played this past week.
Yeah, all right. So we only got four. We got four sports that from our previous episode. So on the rundown, I talked to you guys on the preview of last week. We got to talk about how their women's basketball team will be playing against Mount Vernon Nazarene University and Taylor University. And those two games have since happened. We're recording this on Tuesday night, so the Taylor game actually just happened. Donovan, you were the color commentator.
Yeah.
And alongside good old Roger, who was the play-by-play. So we're going to start off with that game on November 18th at 6. November 18th was this past Friday. They played Mount Vernon Nazarene University. Donovan, you know what I did for that game? I was the color commentator with Roger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, Sam was when they Marion and Reinhardt. Yeah.
Game,
So yeah, the girls, they won. Congratulations to them. Big dub. Mount Vernon came out really hot though. It was actually kind of impressive. I wrote an article on it for the Chronicle. But I mean, it was kind of wild because I was like, holy moly, like Mount Vernon is kind of giving us a little run for our money. We were actually down 17-7 at one point. We were down 10. So that was pretty crazy, but the girls came back, obviously. Lily Frazier had herself a ball game. She had 17 points. She was 7 for 11. She had 9 rebounds, 7 on the defensive side, 2 on the offensive side. She had 3 assists and a steal, and she only had 2 turnovers, so a pretty limited amount of turnovers. Our defense in the 2 middle quarters period quarters. But I remember I interviewed Coach Whaley after the game, and he said, if we can recreate what we did in those 2 quarters in the bookends and combine it all together, we probably would have won by like 50. Because they played some solid defense. It was really good, just an all around really, really well performance. They shot 50% from the field, 36 from the 3-point line. So not horrendous. That's pretty. That's kind of average. I know you probably want to be around in the 40s, right?
For a 3-point?
Yeah. So just a little under what is normal, but so yeah, 75% from the free throw line, but it was only really just a couple. It was 12 for 16, and a lot of those were kind of towards the end. Mount Vernon got a little aggressive, obviously down a lot, so they wanted to at least try and come back. Now on the other side, Mount Vernon shot 9 for 10 from the free throw. They were 90%, but a lot of those fouls took place earlier in the game. 3 points, they were 36.4, so kind of around us as well. They were 8 for 22. But they shot 40% from the field. And Donovan, you know what's crazy? They shot 69% from the field in the first quarter. They followed that up with a 14% in the second and a 20% in the third, and then they shot 53 in the fourth.
Ooh.
I know. So it's pretty crazy and then it's funny. I didn't talk about this just now, but if you look at ours, we shot 41 in the first, 57 in the second, 64 in the third, and then 36 in the fourth. But we only took 11 shots in the fourth. So yeah, it was a pretty wild night, but the girls came out on top. I think another thing that's pretty wild, the amount of points we have off of turnovers. So Donovan, they had 24 turnovers, right? We had 23 points off of turnovers. We were literally almost averaging 1 point of turnovers. So that's pretty crazy. And then tonight, Donovan, you could probably give a little bit more insight to it, but I'll just give some quick things real quick. So the girls won tonight in a close game against Taylor, who's a very good team. They're not ranked, but they are a very good team. They won 87-83. Taylor actually won the third quarter. They were 27-12 to kind of get themselves back in the game. And then obviously we won the 26-20. Obviously won by 4. Leading the score for the Trojan was Clacy West, number 24. She played 40 minutes. So she played the whole game. She had 20 points, like I said, 1 steal, 3 rebounds. She was 50% from the 3-point line. She was 3 for 6, and she shot 7 for 12 from the field. So congratulations to her. Sadly, obviously, she came out on the losing end, but I mean, a really solid performance. This is kind of a really all-around performance by her team.
Yeah.
18 points for Taylor Westgate. Gretchen Mole had 18. Ariel Dale had 14. Ava Henson had 11. So, I mean, a really solid performance for them. They shot 58% from the field, 47% from the 3-point line. They were 10 for 21, and 81% from the free throw line. Now, if you're going on to our side, oh my goodness, Donovan. Wow, that's a great. So Lily Frazier with 19, Claire Merrill with 18, Jordan Reed with 18, our girl, the podcast.
Our girl.
Yeah. I feel like we can not claim her, but I feel like we can.
What? Don't say claim.
I feel like we can represent her.
Represent
her. Yes, represent her. That's the word I was looking for. So Jordan had 18. I think that's got to be a career high for her on the year.
No, she scored in the 20s before.
She did. Well, this year?
Yeah, she scored in the 20s before. I don't know about this year.
Okay, so maybe this year. Not sure. Jordan, if so, congratulations. Jade Nutley with 16. And then, I mean, pretty much just just some points here and there from the rest of the group. But a really solid performance. They shot 52 from the field, 48 from the 3-point line, so an massive step up from the last game, and 92, which is an even bigger step up from the free throw line. I guess I kind of took a lot, and 31 points off of turnovers.
Yeah.
So Donnie,
it was 21 points in the first half off of turnovers.
Wow.
Taylor had 11 turnovers in the first half, 21 points off of those turnovers. So basically 2 off every single one of those turnovers. That's what really killed Taylor tonight was those turnovers. Wildcats should have done a much better job defensively, but I will say the Taylor Trojans have like 2 twin towers in the middle. Taylor Westgate, she's like 6'1".
Wow.
She knows how to use her body really well around the basket. And then Mole is 6'4". So
wow, yeah, wow, that's crazy. So really good win for the girls. Taylor's 4-4 now in the season, and the girls are now sitting at 7-2. We are 2-0 in conference after winning the first 2 games of the Crossroad League schedule. Now going on to cross country, they had their national championship. They came in 12th out of 36 teams. So massive congratulations to the girls.
Taylor won.
Sadly, Taylor did win. It's okay, I guess.
Happens, I guess.
So the Wildcat top 7 were Addie Dewey. She ran an 18-11. She came in 39th, the highest ranked Wildcat. Jenna Cohenhoven came in 57th with an 18-27. Ashlyn Hastings came in 123 with a 19-06. Eden Norris won 40th with a 19-16. Mariah Smith 165 with a 19-27. Ella Baldwin 198 with a 19-39. And then Rachel Murphy in 288 with a 20-45. So big congratulations to them. A really solid performance all around. I know this is their first year with this new head coach, Coach Macbeth. So massive congratulations to the girls. And I know, they'll come back and really improve next year because, a lot of their runners do run track. So I think that's kind of like I think they do a little tag team. A lot of those runners go straight from this season into track, especially with the two that we had in the podcast. Going on towards women's soccer, they're done, Donovan. They lost in it's the opening round, which means like it was at the host site in Williamsburg, Kentucky at University of Cumberland's, but it was the second round. So
that means they technically made it to the finals.
Yeah, so they made it to the finals, and they made it to the first round, or the finals and the opening stage. I guess, the opening, like the group stage, kind of like in the World Cup that's going on. USA freaking tied Wales.
Yeah.
So, dang it.
All I'm gonna say is Friday, the Brits aren't even gonna know what happened.
Yeah, dude.
It's gonna be so stupid.
No, dude, it's gonna be. Never mind. Like I say, that's probably really mean. All right, so the 39th annual NAIA Women's Soccer National Championship, Donovan. We dominated that first game against number 21 John Brown University, won 3-0. And then Donovan, we played number 3 University of Cumberland's, the host team, number 3 team in the country. We lost 1-0, 1-0.
What does that mean? Ow. What does 1-0 mean?
1-0, Donovan. We lost.
Like
1-0.
Like, why is there only one set? Like, obviously, there's probably, like, something else, but.
Donovan, this is soccer.
What you're talking about, volleyball?
No, dude, I'm talking about soccer. We lost 1-0. So sadly.
Who won the goal race?
Oh, yeah. Hold up. Stats. Must go to stats.
I'm gonna guess is I honestly don't know, but I'm just gonna say it's probably Sarah.
Yeah, no, I mean it definitely was. Sarah had 11 goals. Mallory finished with 8. Sydney Brown had 5. Sydney Brown was in 4th with 5. Jackie Norris was in 3rd with 6. Wow.
Dang.
I know, dude.
Come on, Mallory.
Dang, Mallory.
Mallory. What happened?
Okay.
Yeah, he did the one about the Colts this week.
I know, I saw that. That's unfortunate. What happened with them? That was a tragic loss.
Yep.
Anyways, the girls lost. Sadly, they're out. Donovan, I guess, they had quite a historic start to the season.
They really did.
And then they kind of played some tough teams toward the end with Grace College and Marion, and took some losses there. And I think going into the conference tournament, they were probably a little starstruck a little bit against Taylor. But then they came back against John Brown and really dominated. Who was the number 21 team, but they couldn't really win against University of Cumberland's, the host team, obviously, like I said. So tough loss for them, but hey, they'll get it back next year, not to worry. Now going on to volleyball, Donovan, they are sadly out as well. So we were able to host the first round for the 43rd annual NAIA Volleyball National Championship. We were playing Rocky Mountain College of Montana.
Good old Rocky Top.
Yeah, but it is Montana. Donovan, we got swept 3-0.
Wait, we did?
Yeah, we got swept 3-0. I know,
Man.
tough. So we didn't really do much, honestly. To put it lightly, we 25-19, 25-19, 25-17. So a bit of a tough performance for the women's volleyball team. I know they'll get back at it next year. I know they're returning some people, but they're also losing some key players who are seniors. So hopefully they can come back next year and dominate. And Coach, I know, will be able to get her girls together to really go out there next fall when we're adulting. And they got it. So yeah, Donovan, that is all for me. That's honestly all for me when it comes to really any sport. Right now I got some stuff for the preview, but yeah.
Alrighty ho. So I will open it up with men's soccer. So men's soccer also, they kind of got in there by the skin of their teeth. But they got into the opening rounds as well for the NAIA Men's National Soccer Championship. Unfortunately, they lost in the first round to number 15 Columbia College. They actually tied with Columbia College earlier in the season. Their third match of the season, it was 0-0. This time they lost to them 1-3. Actually, we did score the first goal of the match, and then Columbia College went on to score 3 unanswered goals against the Wildcats. So their season will come to an end. I thought this season was really good by the men's soccer team. They haven't really been ranked in the past. They were ranked for a while this year. And they had some really good standout freshmen, Jose Pizarro, Brandon Nyagarungo. Nyagarungo actually made the conference's all freshman
League,
team.
Yeah, good for him.
So he was also the freshman striker of the year as well.
I think he was
So-
very well deserving. I think every time we talked about it,
Yeah,
you were
it's felt
saying like
we were
how he
saying
scored.
something about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't he the one that like single-handedly beat the team we just lost to earlier in the year?
Yeah, I think he like single-handedly beat I think it was Spring Arbor.
Yeah.
So
Where we lost, like we went down 2-0 early, and then he had like 4 goals or something like
yeah,
that.
I think he had 2
Or 2, yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
was dog status. So it was absolutely great to see, and hopefully they can build on past this. Next, I'll move on to men's cross country. So the men's cross country, we had Steven and Eli on the week before the race is going to take place. They ended up taking 4th at the national championships.
Tough.
So,
But hey, yeah.
place-wise,
Mm-hmm.
we had Eli Fullerton at 14th, Landon Wakeman in 20th, Braden Sweet in 47th, good old Steven Ott in 57th, Rafi Fry finished 115th, Ben Niedek 124th, and then Braden Vernot finished in 208. You know what is funny? When Eli and Landon crossed the finish line, they technically clocked in at the exact same time. Eli was 14th place and Landon was 20th.
That's wild.
So like a big group of people must have.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Finished
You know, and I
line.
do know though that Eli's place got him All-American honors. So
Okay,
yeah,
that's good. Thank you.
I wanted to let you know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then also for the top 5 teams, so Dort ended up winning it. I don't know what the points, so I'm not even going to say the points. And then Milligan finished 2nd. The Masters finished 3rd, and then we finished 4th. And then St. Francis of Illinois, not Indiana, finished in 5th place. So great job for the men's cross country team. You know, they went into the race ranked 4th, and they leave the season also ranked 4th. So yeah. Ooh, quick question, Owen. If you were a cross country runner, would you wear the flowies or the tights?
Definitely the flowies.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. Next, I'll move on to men's basketball. So men's basketball, let's see. So last week, that would have been against Mount Vernon Nazarene.
We lost to Morningside.
Okay, be quiet.
Sorry.
So I was just
Dang
making
it.
sure that wasn't something else. So we beat Mount Vernon Nazarene 89-82 here at home last Tuesday a week ago. Today, quick box score. Let's see. For the Wildcats, Spencer Pierceville had 25 points, Seth Maxwell 22. Man, I'm about to sneeze. The leader for Mount Vernon Nazarene was Kyle Kegley with 35 points. Dude was a walking bucket, 5 for 6 from 3-point line. Next, and then literally right from that home game, Owen,
Yeah.
they got on a bus and started driving to South Dakota.
I know. I heard. It's crazy.
It's
Such a
kinda
quick
wild.
turnaround too.
So they played on Friday, and then on Saturday, this past weekend, they played Dakota Wesleyan and also Morningside College. They beat Dakota Wesleyan 75-57. Leading the way for the Wildcats was Javen Buchanan. He came off the bench, the freshman, and he had 22 points. Seth Maxwell had 14, and Griffin Cleaver added 11 points. That was kind of the standouts there for the Wildcats in that game. And then, yes, Owen, we lost to Morningside College the next day at 3 p.m., 85-61.
I know. That's our big whooping we got.
Yeah, that was a kind of tough loss we took there. For Morningside, Eli Dobble and Jack Dotzler, 24 and 21 points. They did a fantastic job for them. And then for the Wildcats,
Dang.
Noah Smith had 20 points. Good
Yeah.
to see him back to where he was before he got all of his injuries. And then Seth Maxwell had 12 points. They were the only Wildcats to score to have double digits in scoring. Alex Stauffer had 9. Javen Buchanan had 8. So the Wildcats were looking to bounce back, which is absolutely what they did. They played Taylor at Upland tonight, where they won
Taylor.
68-49. And
Domination.
So it was led by Javen Buchanan, a freshman for the Wildcats, had 24 points.
We may be watching a new Kyle Mangus in the making right here.
Hold on, I'm checking something here. Who didn't start for them that usually? So Tim Tim must be out because Tim did not even play in this game.
Yeah, he must be.
So Javen played for him, scored 24 points. Great job for him. Taylor, Jason Hubbard, and also Anton Webb, they had the most points for them at 12. Taylor obviously is going to want to look to bounce back here. They fall to 3-4 in their season. Wildcats improve now to 5-3. Wildcats are 2-0 in the conference. Taylor now 0-2. And now, Owen, we're going to move on to the big news of tonight, and that is you and the you and the football team won the first ever playoff game in the history of Indiana Wesleyan history for the football team. You guys won 14-7. I will say, as a fan in the stands, it was not fun freezing my little butt off.
Yeah, it was.
Also, it didn't help that in the second half you guys didn't score a point. Neither did they.
No, yeah.
But it was 14-7.
They held the ball
defensive
too.
showdown.
Yeah, they really held the ball in the second half. I mean, obviously, I'm not like having any excuse, but they held the ball really well in the second half. So it was kind of a struggle to kind of get things going, I think. But they had a TCU transfer, 3-star out of high school quarterback. And I mean,
He was good.
Yeah, he was good. And I think our defense did a very good job of containing him for what they could. Because I mean, obviously, a guy with his caliber is gonna do something every once in a while, and I think that's what he did. But I think limiting him to doing it every once in a while and not all the time is what they did. So yeah, I think they did a really good job.
Yeah. As someone who was in the stands, I had no idea about any of the how good Avila was. Running back, I mean, the quarterback, absolutely fantastic. Honestly, he reminded me of like a just smaller Cam Newton. I mean, dude played very, very well. But also, Devin Bacchus received the defensive player of the game with 8 total tackles, also forcing a fumble and breaking up a pass. And then Darian Williams was the offensive player of the game.
Well deserved.
Ran for 178 yards and a touchdown, breaking another program record. And that's his 13th time he's broke a program record.
What did he
this
do?
Season. I don't know. I think it's maybe just that's all it said. Williams ran for 178 yards and a touchdown, breaking another program record with his 13th of the year. And so, I mean, it was funny because Jock only had 4 receptions for 24 yards, but I mean, obviously, passing wasn't going to be something that was going to be used because it was so cold and it was windy.
I agree.
This Saturday when you play, obviously, it's going to be a little
50
bit
degrees, then
warmer.
Partly cloudy.
So, yeah,
Praise the
big
Lord.
game for you guys. So, you guys are going to move on. I'll introduce the team that you guys will be playing in the preview section. But, Owen, you know, we're going to say it probably while we're in the interview, too. But we were kind of scared of, like, who are we going to interview this week?
Yeah. And then
is there even going to be an interview this week?
Yeah. A certain special someone came in town this weekend.
Yep.
Or a certain special group of 3 people came in town this weekend. But obviously the person we interview, very special because he is probably alongside of another person. I don't want to give it away because if I said it, it definitely would. But he is one of the biggest fans of the Wildcat Week podcast. And I think we are the reason he is up to date with every other sport in Iowa besides football. So
honestly,
yeah.
this has helped me stay up to date.
Yeah, no, I
with
agree.
sports.
But no, Donovan, it's someone very close to me. Obviously, we'll figure out very soon. But yeah, I think not to do him any injustice, but it's Thanksgiving break, so everyone's pretty much out of here besides football team and the women's basketball team, who when I talk about it in the preview, they are out of here because they don't play again until next week. So I mean, literally, it's just going to be the football team around, and we didn't feel like doing them for the 4th time. So, So yeah.
All right, so we'll move on into the interview section. Owen, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the interview portion of Wildcat Week. And Owen, it was a short week this week.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving break, so no athletes are on campus unless you're the women's basketball team
or the football team.
And we've done both of them already.
Yeah.
So we wanted to maybe come with a new guest. We've never done this before. We've only done IWU student athletes.
Yep.
And now we're about to do an IWU athlete parent or parent athlete.
Yes.
So athlete's parent. So Donovan, this is I'll introduce him. Donovan, this is my wonderful father, Christopher Nadishin. He is back at home in good old Abita Springs, Louisiana. They were up here for the game this weekend. So Dad, introduce yourself, I guess, a little bit more, and just kind of talk about your experience on having now having another one, because my brother, everyone knows, plays Division I golf at Louisiana Tech. So how is it, having two kids kind of in different parts of the country, really just working at something they love, and having to be able to split time between them and being able to see them obviously both perfecting their craft?
Well, first of all, thank you both for having me on this podcast. I feel very honored that I am the first, and did you say only, phone-in interview?
Yes, you are. Yeah, this is our first one. Yeah.
I'm not sure why I have the honor to have such a prestigious, prestigious honor here doing this, but I do feel very honored. But so thank you both for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, I think getting you on here, it was, honestly, I really thought we just weren't gonna have an episode this week, Chris, and Owen's like, hey, I have an idea, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm all ears. So I heard this idea, I loved it, and we ran with it. But get back to, I didn't mean to cut you off there, whatever you're about to say.
No, well, I can add to it. It makes me feel very happy that I am the absolute last choice for the show. And, Donovan, you said it in such a pleasant way. How I am the absolute bottom of the barrel choice for interview.
Yeah, that's not true. We could have done football players. So.
I'm
yeah, that's true. If we really wanted to scrape the bottom, we would have got 2 football players.
Yeah, for the third time.
But no, thank you all both. Seriously, thank you both for having Donovan. It was great to meet you finally this weekend after watching you on the podcast, and to clear the air of what was it? Episode 7, 6, 7?
I think
it was early. It was earlier in the year. I think it was
I think it was episode 6.
6, yeah.
I just asked a simple question to Owen, and that was, what's going on with Donovan's mustache? That's all I asked.
Yeah.
Owen elaborated on it with the whole caterpillar thing and cheesiness. I just asked a question. That's all I did. So I wanted to clear. I'm happy I have the honor of coming on and clearing my name.
That's good.
Because you looked right into that camera and really spoke to me, and I just wanted to clear the air. That wasn't me. That was Owen adding a lot to it.
No.
But I wish your dad could be on here with us, because I understand your dad and I have something in common, and that was asking the question, what was that mustache all about?
Yeah, and trust me, when I went home for definitely when I took a picture of after I shaved it off for No Shave November, I think a tear probably ran down my mom's cheek, realizing that it's finally off of his face.
And then November shows up.
Yeah.
I gotcha. No, so again, thank y'all for having me. And yes, as Owen pointed out, I am Owen's mother, Allison, and myself, my wife, Allison, and myself are very blessed to have 2 student athletes in college, 2 individuals who wanted to pursue their athletic passion at the next level, and are playing it at the next level. And it was quite a journey for both. Very interesting journey that I will share with you all as we move on in this interview. But it could be fun, but it also can have its craziness and its ups and downs, as I'm sure many of the parents who also have student athletes can certainly appreciate, because it's not easy. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time from when they were very young, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of patience, a lot of travel, a lot of everything, to do that, because when you get to this level, whether it's an NAIA level or a Division I level, you still have to put in the same amount of effort, and it takes its toll, certainly on those student athletes, because they're trying to become elite, and we as parents are trying to do everything we can to possibly help them become elite and to do what they want to do and are happy with at the next level.
Yeah, I guess my question to you, I remember way back, probably about 5, 6, 7 episodes when we had Isaac and Trey on. Isaac said that watching your kids play sports, obviously none of us have realized it, but he said it probably takes some years off of their lifespan. I mean, has there been times either Owen or your other son Riley has just been like, made you be like, man, I feel like I'm about to give myself a heart attack?
Well, certainly, absolutely. As you see a president take office, people always comment about their gray hairs that how many more gray hairs they have on their head when they come out of office, and that certainly can be the case for a parent who has an athlete going through everything in the process of trying to become a college athlete. I had 2, so I probably have a little more gray hair since I had 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can understand. I remember the episode. As y'all pointed out, your dad and I are probably the biggest fans of the show and listen to the show all the time. So yeah, I remember that episode, and I was thinking. I honestly do remember thinking about going back in my memory of different things. At the time was just mainly for Owen, because Owen was on the podcast, so I was thinking about it then. But as I think about it, it wasn't too long ago with Riley. So yeah, it definitely can feel like it shaves some years off your life, and but definitely it's fun. And one thing that was told to me, and in every sport, was to let them enjoy the process. And I guess parents need to try and enjoy the process also as much as they can. It's very hard, a lot of time, a lot of effort, as I said, a lot of money, a lot of travel, all these sort of things, hotel rooms and tournaments and this and that and this and that, and equipment and uniforms and this and that, coaches and private lessons and all these sort of things. It really takes a toll. But if the parent sees the joy that the student athlete has in wanting to go to the next level, it all makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, I guess my question is, because obviously it can be a different answer for everybody. But when it kind of came to like Owen and Riley playing sports, I mean, were you someone that played sports in high school? Like, did you always want your kids to like play sports as they grew up, or was it kind of one of those things where you just kind of let them choose their own path?
I certainly let them choose their own path. I did play high school sports. I played different high school sports. I played football, but then I went on to the swim team, and actually started a cycling team at my high school my senior year, along with 2 juniors. Believe it or not, you've seen me, Donovan. Yes, I did swim and I did cycle. So as we get older, our metabolism slows down, so you become a little bit larger.
Yeah,
just a little bit larger. So, but no, I did don a Speedo, and
I don't want to put that image in my head.
Absolutely not.
Don't put that image in my head. But because they were much shorter back then.
Oh,
oh no.
But and so did Miss Allison. She also swam in high school, and she actually swam for college. I think Owen's talked about that on a podcast before.
yeah.
We both went. I went to Louisiana State University and didn't pursue athletics at that next level. I came from a single parent home, and my mother, Owen's grandmother, was working. My father died when I was very, very young. So I didn't quite have the person, I don't want to say pushing, but the financial support and all those sort of things that are needed. But things were a lot different back then too. You could play playground ball and get picked up by a major university. You didn't have to do all this travel baseballs, and you didn't have to do all these camps, and you didn't have to do all this extra practicing and private coaches and all these sort of things back then. But I did play sport. I did love sports. I didn't push it on him. That's one thing I never wanted to do, and I always preached. And I think Owen, hopefully, I don't see him right now, but hopefully he's shaking his head.
I am. Yeah.
I you never pushed them to do it. I let them make their own choice, and I always gave them an out. I said, "Look, you're not hurting my feelings. If you don't want to do this anymore, you're not going to hurt my feelings." And so that was always there. So they took to sports. Owen played multiple sports, more than Riley did. Riley tried a little football, didn't work out. Then he went on. He liked basketball, played grammar school basketball, and but when we moved to the golf course community, I was hoping one of them would pick up golf, and Riley is the one who picked up golf. So both of them grew up on a golf course, but Owen, I guess, just fell in love more with baseball and football, and played football at a very young age and played baseball at a very young age, and loved them both. Owen played basketball as well in grammar school, but
Yeah, dude,
really
I was
enjoyed
freaking
football.
Shaquille O'Neal in the paint, just dominating all those 7th and 6th graders out there.
Owen could cover some paint.
Yeah.
Okay? He was muscle some paint.
Now the thing is though, I would always try to throw it off the backboard. My dad always taught me, if you want it to like go in the rim off the backboard, aim for that like top corner. I would throw it way too hard and it would just bounce right off.
Yeah. Because one thing you did not need to measure Owen's ability to get off the floor is a ruler.
Yeah.
He didn't really. Owen never had much of a vertical.
Yeah.
Need a couple quarters to stick underneath.
Yeah,
your,
dude. I'm 6'4". Why do I need
exactly.
some insane vertical?
Yeah.
I'm tall enough.
No, but that's where my life kind of took it. I kind of went to LSU a little bit and didn't go on any kind of sporting scholarship. Then came home and went to the University of New Orleans, and that's where I met Miss Allison. So anyway, that was my career, so if you want to call it that. But no, they both did pick up on sports when they were very young, and dedicated and pushed themselves to excel in those sports. I mean, Owen's world kind of turned towards baseball, even though he was playing both, and his size in football obviously led to a lot of opportunity, but he truly loved baseball. And we were headed down that recruiting route. He played in a big travel team here that's even grown even more since Owen left it, and has become a nationally recognized travel team that has some major league players who are coaches, and the guy that runs it played in the majors and played in college, obviously played D1 college baseball and so forth. So, those guys helped along the way, and we were talking to different colleges. And then next thing you know, Owen's high school football coach came along and said, "Hey, he's getting a lot of looks and a lot of interest as an offensive lineman." So, and we were friends with his high school football coach, because his youngest son was Riley's age and played sports with Riley and so forth. So he kind of said, "Well, we kind of said, well, what do we need to do?" And we talked about it with Owen, and Owen said, "Yeah, I'd like to look at both of the opportunities and see what pans out." So all of a sudden, we had been playing travel baseball all over the country, and now all of a sudden we had to start figuring out, what do we do in this recruiting world for football. So we started going to multiple camps. I think the summer in between Owen's junior and senior year, we went to 14 football camps.
Ooh.
From upstate, up in Connecticut and New York to Tennessee to Texas, and we went all over the place. And ironically, he landed at a place that found him on the internet, and we never went to the camp there. And we showed up there, and because he really liked it and really wanted to go, and when we went to Indiana Wesleyan University, we both fell in love with it. One thing Miss Allison had always asked him is, give me your pros and your cons. And the only con Owen had about Indiana Wesleyan was it was 13 hours or 12 hours, 12 to 13 hours away from us. Other than that, it was a great place, and you got to meet great people, especially like you, Donovan, and both in and out of football. And now he's met his fiance up there in Indiana and so forth. So it was quite a journey for Owen in that two-sport type of world that all of a sudden gears had to be shifted, and we went a different route with Riley. It's been pretty much Riley got caught up in the COVID year, back end of the COVID years, so it made it a little more challenging. And we had plans in place, and then things got shut down. And we were actually I don't know how much you know about. I know you played high school golf, but I don't know if you knew about any. If you tried to get any of those big national type of travel.
No, I never did. No
tours and stuff like that. So Riley got into these. We were talked about some of the tours, but he mainly played local. We didn't really do a whole lot of traveling with the big national tours, and we decided to go to we were going to go to camps and take the football and baseball approach, and go to these camps, which he did have some big universities looking at him. Illinois was looking at him because we showed up at a camp, but it was funny when we show up at these camps, nobody knows who Riley is because we weren't out there on these big national golf tours. We were playing local tours and trying to play invitational type of things. And so that's what we ended up doing, playing some big invitational stuff. And actually, we're playing with kids from other parts of the country we'd had 6, 7 colleges standing on the tee box watching some kid that Riley was playing in the group with. And next thing you know, they see Riley hit the ball, and Riley starts swinging. And next thing you know, they start his Instagram and text in Instagram and Twitter accounts start blowing up when we get back to the hotel rooms that evening and wanting to know, hey, this is so-and-so with this university, this is so-and-so at that university. And they all asked, who are you? Where you been? But we just didn't go play on those big national tours. And so we were very fortunate. And Riley had some offers out there and some people looking at him, but he ended up going to to Louisiana Tech University, which Riley's swing coach, believe it or not, was not here where we live. He was 4.5 hours away in North Louisiana at the same course that Louisiana Tech happened to play at. So Louisiana Tech's coach got to see Riley and so forth. So the rest is history there. So, but yeah, it's a long answer to your question, but it's been a journey, and it's definitely was not forced on either one of them. They took it up themselves. Like I said, we moved to a golf course community. I was hoping one of them took up golf, and Riley's the one that happened to take up golf. And that was okay. We were enjoyed what we did with Owen, and it actually ended up being a 2-sport world with Owen. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I know now your family is in the same boat that my family's in, and you and your wife are empty nesters, as they call it.
Yep, yes, they are.
My parents, I see.
They might have some
my
advice.
parents, I think they really enjoyed being empty nesters. But what's the experience been for you and your wife now? No kids at the home, just kind of being the two of you.
Well, the food bill is a lot cheaper.
Thanks.
Not only just with you.
I know.
Teenage athletes, no matter what sport they play, can eat a lot.
Oh yeah.
No, it's been bittersweet. You're proud because they are going off to pursue a college education and a college sport that they love, and one may be 4.5 hours away and the other one's 13 hours away. But this past fall, we saw more of the one that was 13 hours away than we saw the one that was 4.5 hours away.
Wow.
So, because golf, it's if they qualify for the traveling 5, they are traveling 5 or 6. If they bring an extra, it's not all local. and it's
Yeah.
not like it's not like you're playing 5 home games. You're traveling to tournaments all over the place. And they did have a fall schedule, and they will have a spring schedule, but mainly spring down here is primarily the southern golf schedules.
It's a lot different
So
from up here.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been, we've been busy traveling to see Owen in his senior year this fall, but so it's been bittersweet, and the bitterness obviously is the fact that neither one of them are here, and it's like we talked about, it's almost like having an animal, a household pet, pass away, in the sense of you expecting certain things, and those things aren't happening because they're not there. They're going to their universities and so forth. So it's been bittersweet. We're enjoying it. We feel old now, which they always said we were old, but we do feel old now because we don't have kids in the house. So
Yeah.
it's been fun.
Yeah. I guess, Dad, we always ask, whenever we have people on, what was kind of their biggest deciding factor to coming to Indiana Wesleyan. But obviously, since you got Mia here and then you got Riley over at Louisiana Tech, kind of from the parents' perspective, obviously, like you said, you've never really, and I can attest to it, you've never forced, sports in our face. It was kind of always up to us. And same with the recruiting process. It was never really like, you can't go here. Oh, you like, you know what I mean? Like, I could have gone to the school over up in upstate New York in Columbia. But they also didn't care if I went to IWU. They didn't care if I went to the school in Texas or the one in Louisiana. They just wanted me to go where I felt called, I guess. So my kind of question is, what was kind of, for me and for Riley, kind of sold you guys on both universities? Because obviously I have my reasons, but what was kind of you and Mom's main reason for being really okay with where you were going and feeling really safe?
Well, I guess, I go back to the question that I said earlier that your mom always asked you was, well, give me your pros and cons, because she did it with Riley as well. Whenever a school would talk to him, he would research the school, and in some cases we went and visited schools, not on official visits, but on unofficial visits. And she would ask the same of him. And so I guess that questioning that Mom had for y'all was a lot to do with it. But also, hearing you talk, you were recruited by Coach Eric, and Coach Eric interviewed you kind of on the phone for a while, which meant a lot, kind of developing a character of you. But then when we went up there, we saw our IWU and just felt like, wow, this is a very special place. Good people. A safety factor really never came into play there, to be perfectly honest with you. Riley his situation was a little different, because Riley would like to go to the next level, and the university where his swing coach, who's Riley's swing coach, also coaches professional golfers, one of them being Sam Burns, who played for LSU, but is living in the golf course community there that course is at, Squire Creek. It's actually Shudrint, Louisiana, which is outskirts of Ruston. And Riley fell in love with the town and the Ruston. But what helped with him, and was a large part of his decision, was Riley wanting to play at the next level. And oh, by the way, the place his college golf team plays out of is the exact same place as his swing coach is. And also, he plays practice rounds with professional golfers. And so they get that kind of experience and get those kind of talks and so forth. But then also, Louisiana Tech's a public university, but the people around Louisiana Tech are also very Christian-like people, like at IWU. And so Riley attends a Bible study on Thursdays with the team that's being given by some of the owners of Squire Creek, the country club that they play out of. And, a couple of professional golfers attend that Bible study with them. And so that's very important to us as well. And we were very happy that he picked up on those things and decided to do those things. But Ruston's a small town. Not a lot you can do to really get in trouble. It's not like a gigantic university like LSU or maybe Alabama or something like that, where there's a lot of party and nightlife. There is party and nightlife there, but that sport, as y'all know, is very demanding in the sense of up early in the weight rooms, going to class, and then you're spending hours on the course, and so it's not a lot of time to goof off and play around. So those are the kind of things that helped us settle and feel at ease on where y'all are located.
Yeah. I'll give you one last question that we'll have you answer. It's been pretty close to a half an hour. I guess no matter what the process or what life leads on for Owen or Riley when it comes to college sports, obviously Owen is coming to a close. Obviously, he wants to win this game Saturday.
Yeah, of course. We want to play 3 more, so.
Yeah, obviously they want to play as much.
Yeah.
And then Riley pretty much just getting started into his collegiate life. What will it be just, for you and your wife, just kind of look back and, maybe be proud in that both of your kids were college athletes, whether that be from, they got to keep going and follow a potential dream of theirs, or, I accidentally just pressed something.
Oh, yeah. I think we're good.
But, whether that be you're just super proud of them and what they went on to accomplish, or just any other answer.
Well, any other answer, you might not want to leave that one open for me because, who knows what I'd say. But no, are we proud? Absolutely. They're getting a college education. They're doing it also with the sport that they love and they want to do and they want to play. It's provided opportunities for them that they may not have had elsewise. In both of their careers per se.
Like meeting you, Donovan.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, Owen's wanting to go into broadcasting, and there's certainly playing at this level, he can talk the game and talk the lingo and those sort of things, and I think that'll help him out. But and Riley wants to go into finance, but we'll see where that pursues him. And as we all know, golf and life you can play golf for a very long time in your life, and there's a lot of business deals that are done on a golf course. So I think overall though, we're proud of both of them for achieving goals that they set in their lives, and obviously what Owen is about to accomplish is a goal in graduating and finishing with a degree in something that he wants to go do. Riley, if he is blessed to go play golf at the next level, he'll do it with a college education background that are behind him that can take him to maybe help him in that aspect of it, or when he finishes or doesn't want to do it and he wants to go pursue a business life, hopefully he'll have that college education to provide him there. So overall, we're proud of them and that they're doing it. They chose their paths. They set the goals for themselves, and they are accomplishing those goals and achieving those goals that they set for themselves. And that ultimately is the most important thing. And they're happy. They're both happy at what they're doing. And they stuck with it. Most importantly, they stuck with it. They never gave up, and they are sticking with it.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris, so much for joining the podcast.
Yes. Thanks, Dad. Appreciate
as we were saying, I don't know if I said it earlier in this interview or if I said it before we started, but you really stepped up to the plate for us. Obviously, because pretty much every single athlete is gone unless they're on the basketball team or on the football team. But it was also great getting to meet you this past Saturday as well. Maybe I'll be able to swing some golf clubs with you and, I don't know, maybe beat you or something, but
yeah, we'll have to get you. Yeah, that's not too difficult to do. Even I know it's been a while since you maybe played in high school, but you could probably still take me. I ain't gonna lie. I live on a golf course, but I find myself staring at the golf course more than I find myself on the golf course. But no, it's been an honor. Thank you for having me. Thank you for not choosing two more football players for the fourth time this year, and choosing me. to do it, and I feel I'm not totally at the bottom of the bucket, but thank you all for having me. And y'all do a great job. I know, Donovan, your parents watch it. Owen, both Owen's mom and I sit up and watch it when it comes on, and y'all do a great job. I think y'all representing the programs, the athletic department well on the podcast that y'all have, and I think y'all are learning a lot, and hopefully it'll help both of y'all as y'all pursue your careers in communications. So I think y'all do a great job, and thanks for having me.
Yep, thank you so much. So Owen, we're gonna send it on over into the preview section.
Good job, yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, ready.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
Let's go. And we are out of the interview. Owen, it was great being able to talk to your dad.
Yes, Chris.
I didn't tell him in person, but the way I met your mom, I told you earlier.
Yeah.
Is so I had no idea what Owen's parents looked like. One of my good friends, that was my roommate my sophomore year, he came up for the game, and so we were out there. He hugged your mom because he was on the football team, and she was like, "Oh, it's so nice to see you again." And she was just like, she double take at me, kind of like, I think I know this kid.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Are you Donovan?" I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, it's so great seeing you on the podcast and all this stuff." So it was funny getting to meet your family in that way.
Then you saw them like 3 other times in that time span.
Yeah, I saw
Kept
them
seeing
like
them.
so many other times after that. But your dad is a seriously funny man. Obviously, some people
Chris.
maybe not have heard it through the interview, but there's a funny video on my phone of Owen's dad impersonating me, putting on a fake mustache when they came here because you showed him this podcast room. So Owen, we're gonna move into the preview section. Go ahead and say what you have coming up.
So yeah, Donovan, we don't got much coming up. The only real sport that is going to be doing anything this coming up weekend up until we record again, or not this weekend, next week actually, is women's basketball. They will be playing, and honestly, we could probably do this on the next episode, but might as well have something to say now. They will be at Spring Arbor, so their 3rd conference game. Hopefully they can come out with the win. They will be at the McDonald Athletic Center. So probably not McDonald like, McDonald's, but that's still pretty sweet.
Oh, McDonald's.
Yeah, let's just say it is, yeah. It's like
imagine they have golden arches inside there.
So yeah, they'll be taking on the Spring Arbor University of Michigan Cougars. So good luck to them. That will be November 30th, like I said, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Donovan, that's all for me.
Yeah, and I have 2 things. So first one is men's basketball. Men's basketball will have the same thing as women's basketball, except it will just be at Lucky Arena. So they will also play Spring Arbor University here in Lucky Arena. As I said, that'll be next Wednesday. And for football, you guys will be playing Benedictine College out of Kansas. Owen, give me a quick little rundown. What we seen from Benedictine?
They're a really good team. We're at the point in the playoffs where
every
team is good. So yeah. I think we got to go out there and do us. Really, at the end of the day, it's very cheesy and a corny way to say it, but it's true. They are a very good team, and it is very obvious that they are there. I think this might be, besides a couple teams in our conference, they are probably the best. They are the most well-coached team. They took the number 2 team in the country to a 2-score game and lost on a game-winning field goal, 44-42. So yeah, I think they're a very good team. I think they're a very beatable team, but I also think they're a team that can very well beat us. So yeah.
Yeah, as I kind of look through their schedule that I have open right now, I think more of anything, obviously it'll be a good test for the offense. They don't really allow a whole bunch of points, but I think this will be a really big test on your guys' defense as well. They're a team that's scoring in the realm of 35 to 45 points per game.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see it kind of how you guys step up into this fight. And as you said, they took Grandview, which is the number 2 team in the nation, said, to a 44-42 loss. And as you said, Grandview won on a last-second field goal. So it will certainly be interesting to see. They are 11-1. They haven't lost a game since September 3rd. We are 11-1.
Yeah, very similar
haven't
to
lost
us.
a game.
No, we're actually
since,
10-1.
We're 10-1. Haven't lost a game since September 3rd.
Yeah.
So, it'll be interesting to see how you guys play out on this one. But for us here this week, Owen, it's been another great episode in the books. A different kind of episode.
Yes,
that we have
very
in the
different.
Books. Not a whole lot coming up for a couple of the sports teams here. It's kind of, we're getting towards that transition period where kind of sports are getting ready. Some sports are finally into the swing of things, and some sports are finally coming to a close. But Owen, I hope you have a awesome Thanksgiving.
Yes, I will be spending it with my fiance's family. So
eat
I'm
some
excited.
good grub.
Another good Midwestern Thanksgiving with some spaghetti or chicken and noodles. Chicken, that's what it's called.
What?
Chicken and noodles, that's what it's called.
I've never had that.
That's the most Midwestern thing I've ever heard. Chicken and noodles.
Oh yeah,
everyone.
That's a very Midwestern
but
thing,
yeah,
I've
that's
never had it at Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, no, that's apparently like what most people do.
Oh well, not my family.
Your family has culture, Donovan.
Thank you. I would say my mom's side of the family that's here in Indiana, in the Midwest. Even my grandma in Iowa, Midwest. I mean, none of them chicken and noodles. None of them.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for tuning into this episode of Wildcat Week.
Yes.
We hope to see you guys on the next episode. Hopefully that will be. I don't see why we shouldn't have one coming out next week.
Yeah.
It was just this one that was in question. So until then, peace out.
Yep. Peace.